This winter, the Rams pulled off a blockbuster. They unloaded Jared Goff to Detroit. They got Matthew Stafford, a pretty giant repudiation of Goff, and a statement that says, well, they were a quarterback away from title contention. Were they right? That is our job to figure out. How are you? I'm Chris. I think we're going to have a little bit of just a football discussion, some fantasy in there too. The real question is, Sean McVay wanted to trade off. He thinks he got a big upgrade in Matthew Stafford. I'm going to look at film at both guys and see if I agree and see how this might go for the Rams and Stafford in California. Before we get going, though, it really does help if you subscribe to the channel. I know it seems like a small thing, but just click the little button to subscribe, give us an upvote, give us a like, and leave a comment. It really does help. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so what is the Rams' passing offense? Well, here is their very first play of 2020. They are West Coast, and they will run out of 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers, but they will also throw out of any formation. Tons of play action. Here you've got both supposed run-blocking tight ends going out for pass. You've got the motion guy running wide behind the line of scrimmage one way. You got the primary target, Robert Woods, running behind the line of scrimmage the other way. And it winds up with a very defined read for Jared Goff. This is a great approximation of what the Rams' offense typically looks like. 2 plays later, what is the Rams' passing offense? Very often is 3 wide, but with extremely tight splits. You see it here. Only 1 player outside the hashes, and when the play gets rolling, almost kind of double play action on this one, right? First kind of almost hands it to Robert Woods, then to Cam Akers, then fake bootleg action going right and throwback screen to the left. Only the Chiefs and Bills had more play action plays than the Rams last year. And listen, I'm not trying to call this unusual for the NFL now. The Rams are part of why the NFL does this, and every offense does this, but it is still definitely a foundation of the Rams passing game. Continuing just to get a sense of what the Rams offense is, often, especially on later downs, they will just line up straight and try to throw deep, but more often, even the deep stuff looks like this. You see the tight splits, a McVay calling card, 2 tight ends on the right side. Could easily be a run formation. They don't always go play action, but they do it a lot, and it's fooling you. Watch number 47 there. Poor Nathan Jerry of the Eagles, amid the cluster of players that results from tight splits. Well, the defender's got to be perfect or he's going to get lost. And here, Jerry is not perfect. Tyler Higbee gets away from him easily and the throw goes deep. Tight splits, tons of horizontal motion pre-snap, tons of play action, tons of very defined reads. That has been the Rams' pass attack. Hey, a quick break to thank our fine sponsor on our channel today. It's DraftKings Sportsbook. We love them, America's top-rated sportsbook app, and college football season is also right around the corner. DraftKings Sportsbook, this sounds hard to believe, but it's true. They're giving new users $200 in free bets instantly if you bet $1 or more on any college football game. That is correct. I will say it again. $200 in free bets instantly to all new players when you place a bet of $1 or more on any college football game, no matter what. DraftKings Sportsbook is safe, secure, reliable, located in the U.S. It is easy to deposit and withdraw your money at your convenience. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the promo code HarrisTube, and that's how you'll receive $200 in free bets when you place a $1 bet on any college football game. Promo code HarrisTube to get your free $200 in free bets instantly for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Okay, and before we dig back into the film, let me just say one more time, please, if you like what we're doing, if you think it's a good thing, there's one way to reward us, honestly. Well, you could support the sponsors. That's really great. But a free way is just to quickly subscribe to the channel. Please do. It helps the business immensely. We're indie around here. It really does help us out. Subscribe. Leave a comment. Definitely like the video. That all really helps. Okay, so we're getting back into the subject at hand. Now, Matthew Stafford, the one who's coming to Los Angeles, I want to take a look at the kind of offense that he typically ran in Detroit and see if there are some similarities to what we saw from McVay's Rams. And Stafford probably never, honestly, has had as many easy reads as he will have in LA. Here's sort of the Lions 2020 equivalent of one of the plays we showed you before. 2 tight ends on the left, 2 wideouts on the right. And the intent here, very similar. It's play action, followed by an outbreaking route to a wideout, in this case Marvin Jones on the right. But as you can see, just not a lot of misdirection, right? Pretty much everything's right straight at you. It's really not meant to confuse you except for via formation, and that means Stafford has to make a great throw, wield the big gun, and hit a tight window on the out. What did it look like when the Lions tried the tight splits, two tight end, play action thing that we just saw a minute ago with the Rams? Not great, Bob. Not as good as LA, that's for sure. After the snap, you can see Marvin Jones is probably the first read here too, but the Saints do a pretty good job dealing with the fake run play that turns pass, and now because there really wasn't that much pre-snap misdirection, just wasn't that much confusing to defend, it turns into a scramble drill. And it's a great play down the field by Jesse James on a ball that really maybe shouldn't have been thrown and almost certainly should have been intercepted. But my point is that out of a similar formation, for the Lions, just the way they did it, nothing much really got schemed open here. So what all this tells me is, Sean McVay just gives you an easier quarterback system to run. A lot more decisions are taken out of your hands, and therefore it seems pretty clear that what the Rams are looking for is somebody to execute the offense and not make big mistakes, but be able to kind of dynamically roll with the punches as the play ensues. And one obvious distinction in ability on film between Stafford and Goff is what happens when the first read isn't open. Goff isn't very good when he gets pressure. He is stubborn with his first reads. We'll take it back and show you this play again. It's 3rd and 10. Obviously, Goff wants to get beyond the sticks if he can, but his brain appears to be saying, I will throw this corner route to Robert Woods if it kills me. It's not open. It's never open. It's basically thrown away. But if you look again, you'll see, in fact, number 81, Gerald Everett, is open pretty much right away, coming from the right slot. It's 5 guys coming. Pressure is near, but you gotta see it. Pro Football Focus famously declared Goff had their worst rating in the league last year on passes thrown to someone other than his first read. And as you can see here, when his primary receiver was defended and he rolled out right and tried to make something creative happen in a big game against Seattle, it's vapor lock. And, vapor lock can happen to anybody, but if Sean McVay is going back through the season's film and thinking about making a change, I'm sure this one haunted him and maybe helped make the decision. Now, Matt Stafford has problems as a quarterback, and we'll get to him, but refusing to come off of his first read is not one of them. In last year's opener against the Bears, I think this is designed to be kind of a chip, and then the tight end is supposed to get out and get a screen, and he does wind up being wide open, but Stafford gets pressure and feels it and steps up, so the screen isn't really there anymore, and he waits for Danny Amendola, who basically makes a scramble drill cut to get open. Big boy throw, little improvisation there. And here's the Bears rematch later in the year. Here the Bears drop into a real deep zone. They rush 4, everyone else is back. And I think Stafford is real interested in the slot guy running a go down the center of the field. But against this defense, you shouldn't throw that ball. So he throws the dig that's beneath the go. And if we watch it from the end zone view, watch Stafford's head. He's looking right first, sees he's got no shot, sees what the defense is, steps up, looks back to his left, finds Amendola again. And if you're thinking about the deep ball, this is a big difference. It's not that Goff has a bad arm. Stafford's arm is kissed by celestial beings. He can avoid pressure. He can step up. Quintez Cephas, truthers, unite on this catch. And as football watchers, we just know what this looks like, right? We know when a quarterback has some mobility, he's loose. Oh boy, he's not across the line yet. He's going to bomb it deep. And Stafford does that play about as well as anybody not named Patrick Mahomes. You want to see darn near the exact same play run by Jared Goff? This is mean, but I kind of think it's fair. So like Stafford, Goff steps around pressure. He gets clear. He's not across the line. He's got one-on-one coverage on the outside. That has been a sluggo route. That is going to be open. The defender has been flat-footed. That's a touchdown. And Goff just doesn't throw it. He doesn't trust it. He pulls it down to scramble and tops it off by fumbling. On a better offense with better weapons, Goff was much poorer and less dangerous throwing it down the field. And yeah, Stafford probably might not have 118 attempts of 15-plus air yards in 2021. There's more horizontal stuff with the Rams and less vertical stuff. I don't know, but then again, maybe McVay will change a little bit and like going downfield with his new, more aggressive quarterback. Now, I don't want to tell you the Rams' problems are just poof, solved forever. I've spent this video largely slagging Jared Goff and hyping up Matthew Stafford, but anybody, Lions fans and anybody who's ever had Stafford in a fantasy league knows you can get bad Matthew Stafford. There's a reason I've called him Stat Padford, and he hasn't been a great winning quarterback. He will kill you with plays, too. If you don't think our dude here can make mistakes, you are obviously not familiar with his oeuvre. The aggressiveness that I've been talking about, I mean, it looks great when it pays off, and so far we had just shown you plays where it paid off, but it is really, really bad when it doesn't. Hero ball fumbling when he should just go down, keeping plays alive, only to not see another defender sliding in front of his intended receiver. He can do vapor lock too. That has been a Matthew Stafford standard for his entire career. Jared Goff is the less exciting player? Absolutely he is. Jared Goff is also the safer player. Less likely to completely mess it up when you're close. Stafford is the upside guy, but he sure is a wild card. After 4 years of coaching Jared Goff, I get it. I understand why you'd want to make the switch to Matthew Stafford, get a little more upside in your game, a little more deep ball passing, and definitely more improvisation and more dynamic play, dude, that you don't have to say the play into his ear hole before the microphone in your helmet goes off, right? I understand it, and frankly, I think it's going to be really fun to watch, and if it hits perfectly and Stafford can sort of rein himself in, it could go extremely well, both for the Rams and for fantasy. Just realize who Matt Stafford is. And that's why you don't want to go too crazy, because there will be games this year when Matt Stafford hurts the Rams and fantasy teams like he's always done. That's going to do it for this show. Once more, if you're here at the end, support the sponsors. That's very lovely if you do. And then also, please subscribe, because this channel works on views. And if you subscribe, you'll give us more views, and that helps grow the channel. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button. Write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button, and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.